we've all,
Yeah.
you guys deal with it music wise.
As soon as you start recording shit, man, all sorts of problems.
Oh my gosh. Timothy.
What's up?
I'm glad you here, man. I'm really glad you came by.
I'm glad to be here. This is neat, man.
So I'm gonna tell people how this came about, I'm gonna tell people how this came about because I was talking to Tracy about it. We had a good laugh about it. So I asked Tracy. He was the first person on,
right?
And then Dusty came on maybe a month later. And then so from the time I asked or I had Tracy on, I wanted you on.
Oh, right on. Okay.
But so since then, and then after Dusty, and any time between that, I was like, I really want to ask him, but I want to be that guy. It's just like trying to always bro, we all trying to listen to music, and my guy had a long work week in school, and I don't know if he, so it's just like all these questions are like, I don't think I should ask Tim. I'm gonna just let Tim just live his best life, and I don't want to be the guy, shoving the microphone in his face or something,
right?
Trying to get an interview. So then out of nowhere, Tim one day is like, so I don't want to be that guy. Go ahead.
It was nuts because I'm like, Dusty's been on, Tracy's been on. I'm like, what about me? But I didn't want to just be like, okay, you got a podcast around, you be on it, and I want to use you as free promotion or whatever, just to have a second to speak my mind and shit. But yeah, I want to be here, and I think I should have gotten up before Dusty, but I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna do that.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching that. No, sir. I have to see that woman. I know you see her a lot more than me.
Yeah.
But I gotta see that woman still. You can hold your ground towards her. I gotta be like, Dusty, it's not what you.
Right. It's for one reason only. It's because I love podcasts. I
love
listening to podcasts.
I didn't know that. What podcast you listen to?
Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Okay.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. All this Kevin Smith stuff, all this podcast stuff.
Yeah, I like Kevin Smith stuff.
And Yo, Is This Racist is the one I picked up recently.
So what was the first thing that got you in the podcast?
Oh, definitely Kevin Smith.
Okay.
Because he had his book, Tough Shit.
Okay.
And I read that, and I'm like, I just want to listen to this dude talk. And then I was lucky because he was doing Smodcast and Education at the time, and Fat Man on Batman. So it was constant Kevin Smith.
Right
man.
on.
It was great.
I like Kevin Smith. Yeah, I didn't know. So the person that got me into it was Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And that was just because one day I was just on YouTube and I was watching something Joe Rogan related, and it popped up. But this was 2014, at the end of 2014. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know, I always knew who Joe Rogan was, UFC and Fear Factor and all that. But so I was like, oh, okay, podcast. So then through him, I was like, oh, podcast. Because around 2012, 2013, so I like wrestling. Yeah. Okay. That's if anybody's seen my, anything on my YouTube, I watch wrestling stuff. So I watch Stone Cold. He has a podcast, but I didn't know podcasts were a thing. I just thought this inner thing, wrestlers is just kind of doing it because they've been doing this forever. I didn't know it was I didn't even know what a podcast was. I didn't know there was a name for it. So
yeah, I can see that. It seemed like this small little world.
Yeah.
And it's radio. It's basically radio from old timey days. So I guess maybe Superman got me into podcasting back when they were doing the 1940 stuff and the Spirit and all that stuff. So I used to go to Cracker Barrel, had vintage radio tapes, and I would get 2 hours of Superman.
Nice.
And you'd be able to listen to it. I still got some of them on record too because
that's
they would
dope.
release them. So I always like listening to stuff so my hands and eyes could do other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what whenever I got a lot of stuff going, some people I don't know how you can do it. I'm because that's just how my brain is just wired now like that for some reason. I could be cooking or cleaning something, be doing something on the computer or writing something while also listening to something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I don't need sound for like a game or something like that. Because like I've heard it all, and I get it. Yeah. Like I could watch a whole like TV show while playing a game and could, you know what I mean? Like just so it's just like that's just how it is. I don't know why. It's just that's the way it is. I like it like that.
That's it too, man. And it was growing up because my parents hated that I monopolized the TV with Super Nintendo. Chrono Trigger. Definitely. I was playing that for 30 hours. My parents finally got me a little black and white TV, like 8-inch, maybe 12-inch TV. And they set it right in the corner so I could play my game and they could still watch TV. That was the birth of multitasking for me. Bro. Because I was watching their shit and my shit.
That's how you do it, man. Yeah. Speaking of Chrono Trigger, you know how many times I've been wanting to like just there's like maybe like 10 games, like retro games that I've been wanting to just grab and just like ask questions later. There's a guy that comes to the mall. His name is Max Coyle. I think that's how you say his last name. But his name is Max, and he has like he goes to different so you know that collectible show that was over I think it was Hillegas maybe. In that area,
Hillegas,
the cafe, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he
used to be at VW or American Legion.
Yeah. He goes to those and swap meets into the mall, and he sells all types of video games from generations now to back in the 90s. So yeah, so he has Chrono Trigger, and every time I see him, I was like, oh. And then he has Final Fantasy 9, but it's missing one of the discs. So I was like, oh, yeah, I could just go buy the disc off of eBay, but it's like,
how much is Chrono Trigger going for?
I think only in like the 20s or 30s, maybe. Nice. Not anything super insane, but it's just like,
There was a time GameStop had a little retro section. And they had Chrono Trigger in a box, $360 on that thing. I'm like, you guys are nuts. It's probably 10 years ago when they thought that stuff was a little more collectible than it was. But they were trying. They had gold Nintendo Zeldas 1 and 2 for like $180 out of box. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you can get that now for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. You can probably pick up both of them now for maybe $100.
Nice.
So... Because I know he's selling he has the gold Ocarina of Time for like $50.
Yeah, so that's right where it should land, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's about how much it was when it came out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the box, and you know what I mean. It's got that time when it's a special edition. Yeah. It's understandable.
Absolutely.
So but no, I learned my lesson at GameStop whenever I was like maybe 12 or 13. Let me tell you how they killed my dreams, Tim. Please. I bought Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube, right?
Yep.
And that game that's still one of the best Spider-Man games, still like on every list I ever see. Like that one and then the Electro 2 on PS1. Enter Electro.
Yeah.
So I had Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire one. I beat it in like a week and a half. I go into GameStop and I'm like, okay, can I, I want to sell this and get some cash. I was like, I bought it from you guys and stuff, you know what I mean? So could I sell it? I don't want everything back for it, but he was like, I bought it, and I think at the time it was like 45 or 50, maybe when it came out, those games were. He wanted to give me like $13 for it, 11. Yeah, I was like, bro.
Yeah.
I just walked out. I didn't say anything to him. I was like 11 or 12. I was like, this is madness.
I mean, as a 12-year-old, how can you be like a professional, I guess not professional, but behind the counter at GameStop and be like, oh, you amazingly found a way to come up with like $50 when you came in here plus tax. Now I could give you back 30 and get that money back from you because you're going to spend it right away in the next game.
Right.
Or I could...
Because that's what I was going to do. Yeah.
Exactly. I could piss you off for the next 2 decades because I want to offer you dirt for it. So you can make, an extra $5 off it when you put it back on the shelf? Hate that shit.
But see, that's why I miss like Baggages, if you remember them in the mall, and then KB Toys, EB Games and stuff. That's what they were at the time, I think, GameStop.
Yeah.
But the one I miss the absolute most is McMahons.
Yeah, man.
They had the greatest game system for trading this, the color chart. Mm-hmm. It would have like the orange, yellow, white, green stickers, and it was just like you could trade in 2 green stickers to get this white sticker,
Simple.
or you know what I mean. And it made sense, and it would give you the breakdown. Like it would have the color, the price, and like it would have a whole breakdown chart, and it made sense to kids. You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, so I can take this sticker and this, and they're like, yeah, you can do that, and then they would let you test the games out all you wanted. Like they literally, man. I've been to all the McMahons, and they work with me. I was a little kid going in there, taking the bus to them, like walking to them, the whole nine, going with my brothers to them, and they would always cut me a deal, even if you know what I mean, I was a little low, and then they would let me sit there and play any game I wanted for literally hours, and would not complain. You know what I mean? It was always cool, dudes. I never had a problem. I was so hurt when they closed, bro. My whole world was like, oh no, I gotta go to the mall.
They took the Pac-Man down because they made it into a flower shop, the one over across from Books,
yes,
Comics,
sir.
and things.
That was the one I went to almost the most.
When that one went down, man.
Yep.
I grew up in Battle Creek, Michigan. So when I was 9, they had a place open up, and it was the first I'd ever seen of it. It was just like McMahons. It was Game Masters. And they had the same color coding. They had, each wall had a different system. It was Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I actually got some Master System stuff off them back in the day.
Really?
And they were great. Everything I traded. After that, it was Babbage's in the mall.
Yeah.
After that didn't even compare because Game Masters was the best.
Yeah.
But I would call them, and I was probably 9 at the time. I'd have to call information because I wasn't smart enough to write the number down every time. And I called up this lady, and she's like, yeah, how can I help you? And I'm like, can you please give me the number for Game Masters? And I had a 9-year-old voice. It was probably a little higher. She goes, is this a joke? And I said, no, I need the number for Game Masters. Give me the number for Game Masters. She's like, I don't feel comfortable with that. And I was like, it's Game Masters. Can I just have a number? She's like, looking it up. I hear it clicking. She goes, sir, there is no number for Game Masters in the phone book. And I'm like, Game Masters. So that was my story about me offending the lady on the phone.
Did she like not just want to give you the number, or did they close or something?
No, she was she thought I had said Gay Masters instead of Game Masters, and at the time I guess it was like 91 maybe.
Oh yeah.
At the time it was a bad word, and she was invoking her right to allow me to find something called Game Masters. Which, I mean, it shouldn't have been her place.
Did you spell it out for her? Were you able to?
No, and maybe I had a slight lisp at the time. I don't know. But, it could have been my fault. But that place was the shit.
Well, either way, I mean, I think she should have been like, are you saying game or gay? Or what are you, like, can you spell it or something? Like, to just be so short about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
just man. Automatically go there. Maybe she gets like 30 calls a day for people looking for Game Masters. And I was at 31st, and she's like, God damn.
Right. Right. This is the last person to call for Game Masters.
Fed up to here.
Right. This has got to be the longest running joke on the phone ever. Yeah. Like, come on. And it's a little kid too. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
What's more likely? I get prank calls. Okay, I get them. Yeah. I get them. But if I'm sitting there standing my ground telling you, like, it's not like, can I get the phone number? Game Masters? Yeah. Huh? What? Click. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's not one of those things. Yeah. Like, why would I carry on it? Like, ma'am, I want a video game store. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I was in the long haul for that joke, man. I'm like, I want to make it do it. I want to make it type in those words.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Crazy lady. But she was a crazy lady, Tim. Don't worry.
However, that did get me, what was it, ActRaiser 2 for Super Nintendo, where you're an angel of God and you go around destroying people. It's fantastic.
Was this a platformer?
Yeah, well, a side-scroller, and then it was a city builder, too. And it would top scroll, you build the city up, and then, but in order to build the city, you had to go through a side-scroller and kill all the monsters.
Oh.
It was pretty badass. I went back and played it recently. It still holds up, too.
Really? Yeah. That's always the best, man. Like, going back, playing some games is just like, I wonder if this held up over time. And it's like, some of them don't.
Nope.
Maybe like, you know, a good 20 to 30% of them do not. But it's It's a really good amount that like super held up.
Oh yeah, I mean, find me a good Batman game from any of the systems before PlayStation. What
3? The Arkham. Yeah.
There's not one there, and none of them held up. Not Return of the Joker, not like Batman Forever. I think that was one. They're all awful.
Well, I think they skipped like the good like side scroller or platform era and try to go straight to like 3D type of like, you know, like they didn't like, because I agree with you. Because I played all the ones that they had, like even the Superman game, like it was just like,
oh yeah, for 64,
bro. Whoo! It didn't hold up then, and it dang sure don't hold up now. Like I remember we had it, and I remember playing it with my cousins because they had it, and I was literally always over there. So I remember distinctively playing that, and I was like, "This sucks." Yeah. Like the controls of it was terrible, terrible. And it wasn't good. It just was not a good game.
Nope.
It had like some good features about it. Of what you thought, like, oh, this could have been a good game if they took the time, you know, but
it's amazing. It's like you give an artist a different medium to work with, and when you go from 2D to 3D, they didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially in that little gap there before somebody so like the Call of Duty era, be like right before Call of Duty Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2, actually. Yeah. The legit one, that was the best one. Modern Warfare 2, for that came out, you know, everybody's running their head around like, what's the best? You know what I mean? Because ever since GoldenEye, they couldn't perfect the Battle Royale the way that they wanted, because GoldenEye is still, the graphics maybe not what you want, but it still holds up. I don't care.
That's the one game I'll say I don't care what it looks like.
Nope, not even a little bit. They all had like the Tomb Raider graphics, but I did not care, you know. And
Jaws, man. Jaws had like the flat face.
Bro.
Right. It's like we're just going to paste a 2-dimensional picture on a flat surface and call it a face.
Yes.
It was good graphics. I liked it.
It was good during the time, man.
Yeah.
I had no complaints, you know.
It was amazing. It was sitting with your buddies, putting that in for the first time and going, what is this magic? Even the first Mario 64 that came out for that. I remember putting that on and just
Smash Bros. The first Smash Bros. Absolutely. When we played that, we broke like maybe 2 of the controller sticks, you know. Yeah. Like we had a couple fights over it. Like it was the Smash Bros, GoldenEye. Yeah. Was real. Mario Party, you know what I mean? Stuff like the first ones was like crazy.
It's about getting people together, and then you had the 4-player capability. Mm-hmm. And I remember
that changed the game, bro. The absolutely. 4 people.
I mean, like, okay, maybe when Super Nintendo came out, us video game geeks didn't have 4 friends. But when we grew up, we finally had 4 friends. Instead of taking turns, we had to play all at once.
Yep.
That got nuts.
Because I remember days that's just everybody ganging up in one room with the Super Nintendo. Yeah. And just 2 people, you know what I mean? Here's the controller. You take the controller. You know what I mean? Person that dies, or if he was generous that day after you complete the level, you know what I mean? Then 64 is like, now we get 4 people and we can really stop all the malarkey. You know, who's the greatest? You know, who's the best gamer right here?
Yeah. Yeah, that was it too. You had to have like a set of rules and like a hierarchy and a jury, or at least a referee to control who plays when and how we're going to do it. You die, you take a turn. You beat a level, you take a turn.
Had to.
Yeah.
It would get out of hand, bro.
It would. Anarchy, man. Start punching each other over turns.
And parents didn't understand. They just thought you were fighting over the game. Like they thought, like they didn't understand, like we were the problem. They thought the game was the problem. It's like, no. Listen, we are munchkins out of control, and we need to govern ourselves.
It's Lord of the Flies,
right? Like, so just stay out of it, Lois. Okay, don't make me have to come in there. You know,
instruction in a book is useless. It doesn't tell you how to take turns.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right, so we gonna get back to that, but I wanna ask you. So, like, what was the first instrument you ever picked up?
Oh yeah, okay. Music.
Yeah, I wanted to say the lead guitarist and like the male vocalist for Plumdingo, along with Dusty and Tracy, who have been on the podcast before. So
I'm pulling up the caboose, man. I'm the last official member of that
band.
To be on this podcast, but it's cool.
Hold on. Gotta save the best for last.
Yeah, I mean,
don't tell them that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they watch this, but we're saying some shit we don't want them to hear. That's all right. What's up, Tracy?
Listen, this will be after the fact, okay?
If you make it. The first 20 minutes talking about video games, that was to, like, drive them away.
Right.
Like, Dusty's not going to
stay. No.
So now we can really get down to it.
Yeah.
You can have Tracy on the pod, or Tracy. You can have Travis on the podcast.
I was literally thinking him before you guys. I was like, bro, I've literally been like you. Like, I've been like, I don't think people was ranting about Travis because like he seems like really busy. So it was like I'm gonna have to pick time. Like I was doing a podcast with my cousin and we had Mo on a bunch of times because I've known Mo since I was like 9th or 10th grade, something like that. So I've known him like damn near a decade too. So
that's cool as hell.
Yeah, so I had him on the other one. He would come talk wrestling and all types of stuff a couple times. So It's just getting you guys and the time and stuff. So I don't want to pressure anybody and,
Yeah, it'd be aggressive. Like, we're all busy, but we all have, like, a certain amount of times we can set aside.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not enough time to complete a 20-hour project. Maybe it's enough time to sit down and talk for an hour or something like that.
Right on.
That's always cool. And I don't want to be judgmental, but Travis prides himself on not being pulled into this world of technology. Like, he just got a cell phone. He's 1950s hot rod culture, and he's sticking to it. And for that, I'm proud of him.
Oh, I'm proud of him too. So, but see though, this is not like if you I could hide this laptop, and it would just be two microphones. They had microphones back then. It was just two guys talking.
I'll bring over a reel to reel. We'll set the reel to
reel. Yeah, man.
Behind it.
It'll get you comfortable, man. I'll get you some old shindig stuff, some feng shui in here.
Yeah, man, that's better. And I'm definitely a person who exists in a duality. I love the old stuff. Ted, Dusty's dad, has a box of wax cylinders from the Edison days.
Oh, man.
Back before records were a thing. I love those. I got, 130-year-old technology in my house. I got brand new technology. I love it all. It's great. I guess that's true with everybody. Everybody's got electricity in their house, so it's all 130-year-old technology.
Right. That's true.
But I got, cameras from the days when they were like, what's film? How does it work?
Right.
Stuff like that. So I love it all, man.
When they use powder for the cameras. Yeah.
It.
So what was the first instrument you've ever played?
It's piano. I don't know why I was being so cagey about the question.
No. You're good. It's good.
I'm not good at focusing. No, piano, I went to the Catholic school growing up. It was a nightmare. I'll call them out. Catholic schools suck. And they put me in piano. At the same time, they put me in boys choir. Little angelic, little kid voices and stuff. So about 9, I started vocals and pianos.
That's good.
Every minute.
I bet you did though.
Oh my god.
I bet. That's not anything most 9-year-old boys want to be doing at that time.
I was into baseball. I was playing every sport. I was swimming. I was soccer. I got into wrestling for a bit. I got 8th place out of 7 people. That was pretty tough to pull off. But, I was the one to do it. And
somebody's got to, Tim.
Yeah, I know. Somebody's got to bring up.
It's a thankless job, I tell you.
It's tough, man. When you get pinned.
Oh, bro.
Like, what am I supposed to do here?
Bro, whenever I wrestled, I wrestled 2 different weight divisions, and then my senior year, my junior year, I wrestled heavyweight for the first time ever. Oh, yeah. And I have been wrestling since I was in 6th grade. So I was wrestling at heavyweight, and I was really good, with people that were in the weight class I was supposed to be in. I was really good. Then I get to heavyweight, and my first match, the dude, it was just him laying on me the whole time. It was just he's taller than me, So it's like trying to get people think like trying to get his legs when we're both the same height is not as easy as you think.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're talking to dudes that are like 5'10" saying, just high pick him, just grab it. Like I am 6'4". He is like 6'5".
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, do you understand? Like you don't. Like my legs are taller than most of your body. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's not as easy as like telling a basketball player just make the shot. You know, that's why I'm never that fan. It's like, why can't you just like no, dude? It's like it's a lot more than that. So it's like I got beat by this dude at Northrop, and I'll never forget it, dude. Man, it was sad because like this dude was probably the most unathletic, most out of shape wrestler I've ever faced.
That's it, man.
And he's just laid on me the whole time. I was doing good, and like I took it to overtime. The crowd was loud. Like I'm not making it up, and then I lost over some BS, and I lost. And the next day, I was so depressed. Like I just didn't know what to do. I was like, because in wrestling, you don't got anybody to blame but yourself, pretty much. Like that's how I view. Like there's no team. You can't blame your coaches. Like it's literally what you know, how you apply it, and just everything about that, and it's all on you. And it's like, oh, you must really suck then, bro, if you lost. You know, like it's all on you. Like there's not even a hint of you being like, this maybe isn't like my fault entirely. You know,
the countdown's going. You're looking around. Who do I blame? The crowd. No, nobody.
Nobody. Yeah,
so. You and the guy. It's like the Blob from the X-Men, man. The worst supervillain ever. Him and Toad.
Yeah,
but, I mean, honestly, a pretty effective supervillain. Mm-hmm. You just lay on the person, and they're fine. And he's got so much extra mass
that girth, man.
Yeah, even Wolverine sticks him, and he's just like, nope. Effective but terrible. That's
for other people, you know. And it's just like and it's just like, bro, it hurts so much afterwards. You know why? Excuse my language, and I'm just calling him this because I'm still upset about it, and this is what I have to do. Yeah. I just was watching a podcast. KG was still upset that they lost to Miami and stuff back in like the early 2010s and stuff. Like he has a strong disdain for the people on that team. So this is one of those like this bastard had the nerve to stand in my school in the middle, like where you walk in with these damn girls trying to be Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Cool Guy, and then he's gonna walk up to me and be like, "Oh, bro, this," like he was trying to be like super good sportsman about it, and I was just like, "I'm not hearing this right now, bro. Like, I'm not here. Like, listen, bro, I'm sorry, but I weigh 190 pounds." And the coaches laughed whenever I got on the scale because they knew I was about to wrestle against you. Yeah. That was a bad sign off gate. I should have even led with that whenever I told you the story, bro. Yeah. He got on the scale, right? He took off his shirt and everything, like titties just dropped, everything. Like I'm telling you, I don't even care. Like say what y'all want. Like I'm not in shape how I was back then. Right. Say what you want about me now. Whatever. I don't care. But at the time, I'm talking about then, and I'm so hurt by it. He killed just the whole thing, like how it's just sour. It's just like, it's like, okay, so you looking at a problem, and it's just like, you can't handle this right now. Like you're just not equipped, and it's just like, it's like getting beat down by a boss on a video game. Like just the first time, it's just like, oh, well, this put me in my place quite nice.
I thought I was good.
Right.
I
hung in there, like it went down to the wire. Door slams like hard, so
that's the worst thing too, man. Like when you're looking at a fight, and traditionally, I guess film and media, it's like the guy takes off his shirt, it's like a 6-pack, and you're like, I want to fight. No, that guy's been working on tone. He's got muscle, but generally, you're afraid of the guy who weighs 350 pounds. He's not taking off his shirt, but his center of mass is low, and he can take you out quick. And I mean, like I'd like to see. I guess there it is. X-Men's the Blob, most effective character, but not the shapely Mr. Sinister or
well, if you think about it, there was this boxer recently, his name was Andy Ruiz Jr., and he took out this I'm pretty sure he's undefeated Anthony Joshua, and he's a big guy, like he looks like a regular everyday guy. He's a Latino, Spanish, Mexican. Not sure what's I don't want to insult anybody, so but he's of that, you know what I mean, descent. But he took out this guy that was jacked, like 6'10", like type, like not maybe 10, but like he's a skyscraper, like jacked, built like crazy, and like knocked him out and beat him and was the world champ. You know, they had a rematch and he recently lost like decision, but you know, like it shows you like even guys like, you know what I mean, it's depends on the work you put in and how dedicated you are to stuff that matters, and not necessarily what you look like all the time, you know.
That's a fair point. Intelligence and cleverness will always trump brute strength.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Unless it's just overwhelming brute strength to where it's just like your intelligence tells you just need to get out of the way, and like there's no way, you know what I mean? But because I've seen that, you know, it's like I've seen pretty, you know what I mean, smart cats just gonna get taken out in any way you can imagine. You know? Yeah. Real life or comic books or video games. So
that's true.
Yeah. So
it is always interesting imagining like growing up with this stuff, growing up with Superman, and then imagining what it'd be like when you're in a fight, and then getting into a fight, whether it's wrestling or just a fight, and realizing, oh no, this is what it's like. Having the reality come in at you, going, oh, I'm going to take out 6 guys, and then, oh, this guy's got me. This guy's going to hold me down just by sitting on me. You know, it's pretty nuts. It's a duality.
Yeah, I learned that like 6th grade whenever I started wrestling, because I thought like going to do wrestling was going like I'm about to go to WWE. You know what I mean? And I walk in there and it's like it's a mat, and they give you a singlet and it's headgear, and you can't do this, you can't do that, like can't spear nobody, no rock bottoms. No choke slam. Can't do no Hardy Boy type things. None of that. That's not allowed. Yeah. You know what I mean? You get to gently lift him up, and you have to make sure he slams a certain way. Like, so you know DJ.
Yep.
This poor soul that had to wrestle him. Oh my. So I was seasoned to know the rules and wrestling and stuff, and we get to high school. DJ, I think it was our 10th grade year, he joins the team. He has never wrestled before. This is not his thing. They appreciate that he has some sort of athleticism, and he's like a tall guy, and like I'm sure he can manhandle somebody. Well, that's all well and dandy, but you gotta know the rules. He goes to his first meet, and I think this is like maybe New Haven or Belmont or something like that. But there's like 3 matches going on at one time, so it's like there's a match here, somebody comes off, and it's just like a circuit kind of thing. There's matches all going on. It's DJ's turn to go against some dude, some white guy, some husky white dude, and it's like, okay, I wonder how this is gonna go. I'm nervous, like, cause I'm watching, like, I'm like, you know what I mean? I just got done wrestling, I won, you know what I mean? Everything is cool. It was like, this is like a tournament style type of bracket sort of thing for the day that they give like a small ribbon. Like, well, DJ proceeds to like pretty much spine buster somebody, and all you hear is a big wham, like a smack, like everything and everybody in the gym, like people wrestling stopped. Do you hear me, Tim? Like everybody just went. Damn. I was like, DJ, you can't do that. You killed the man. Like the kid, like they were considering disqualifying him, bro.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. Like he literally he picked him up and just drove him like, I was like, oh no.
Who is, all right, I gotta unpack some shit here. DJ, big dude to start with, nobody gave him a heads up on what, I mean, like, you can't just let a dude go into a match. That was
no. He's had a wrestle. He's practiced with me.
Okay.
He's never done that. That's what I'm saying. I think he thought, like, because we were practicing that he wasn't supposed to go all out.
You were taking it easy?
Yeah, so he was taking it easy, and I was everybody's taking it easy.
But when you get into high school, you got to kill that dude.
Right. So, no. We were his first meet, so when we go his first meet, he's like, okay, now it's time to unleash the dragon. I got the eye of the tiger. I got you. Okay. Bam! I was like, oh no, DJ. So that was that.
I got that exact story, but not nearly as cool. It's I tried acting once, and we were doing stage play.
Where was this? Give me some context.
Oh, okay. Michigan. It was a cold day in 2004. And we were doing.
Was it though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fall. It was nice.
Was it 04 though?
Yeah, it was probably 04, 06, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And
high school or where?
It was college.
College? Okay.
What they did, the city of Battle Creek, and if we ever get down into it, Battle Creek is the evil place. Michigan's evil. All that shit's evil. But Battle Creek decided they needed some money, so they sold off the theater that was bought and paid for with tax money, and it was public, property that they felt they could sell off without discussing anybody. So they displaced the entire theater company. It was Discovery Theater, and my mom was involved, so they all went to KCC, and I was going to college at KCC. So like the only art left in Battle Creek, because they closed down art galleries, comedy club, everything was gone. There's no music. So they killed theater. So it was all taking place on the stage at Kellogg Community College, Cornflake U. So I got into a production of Dracula, the old
really like Dracula.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was cool. We had twins as Dracula, so one would pop up behind the couch, and the other one would pop up in the back of the theater, and it was They were
that's crazy.
I wonder what they're doing. Michael and Steve something. Anyway, but this little guy was playing Renfield. He was probably 5 foot nothing, just a tiny little whiff of a dude. And I was supposed to, like I said in the script, pick him up and throw him. So I picked that fucker up and I threw him off the stage. He went 18 feet. And
you threw him in the crowd?
No, there's no crowd. It was just practice at the time. I threw him where the crowd would be sitting. And everybody rushed to him. They were pissed off at me. I'm like, it said in the script. They're like, no. You're supposed to stage throw him. You pretend to throw him. He jumps. He knows what he's doing. But I'm sitting here going, he can handle it. He bounced, man. That little guy bounced. He was fine, though. I mean, in a couple days. But he didn't break any bones.
That's crazy. I would be so scared, bro. Especially, you said you were in college?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been terrified that I did something to that guy. Especially, I understand where you come, because I would have probably did the same thing. Yeah. I'd have been like, beforehand, am I supposed to throw him?
Right.
Or, and if I wasn't given any direction and wasn't able to ask questions, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw him. That's what you said.
They assumed I should know. And you're right. I should have asked a question first. But my first thought was, how far can I throw him? And
you were worried about asking forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, I was I didn't know it was wrong, but I didn't know enough to know that I should have asked, can I physically toss him? Is he a cat of some sort?
Right.
Will he land right? Is his skill the throw part, or is his skill
I don't know if I'd have thrown him in the audience. I'd have probably threw him far on stage somewhere, across the stage, and then bro, that was way too hard. I'm like, you said throw in the script. My version of throw is baseball, football, anything to throw is to go a distance. It's gotta go far. If I throw him, I'm like, you throw him like a girl. I'm like, listen, what are you doing? Right.
I didn't want people to be like, no, you gotta throw him farther.
That's what I'm saying.
You throw him far enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's those certain situations are fishy. Yeah. But man, that would scare the hell out of me if because whenever I was maybe in 5th grade or 4th grade, me and a real good but my classmate friend, bro. I wonder what he's doing.
Yeah, right.
I think his name was.
You got a list of people to look up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his name was Matthew. But he was standing we had the cubby areas where you would hang your coat and book bag and stuff. Well, they had a little platform where people could stand if they're short or something and they need to get up there. Well, he was standing up there because he was a little whiff of a guy. So
yeah.
He was standing up there, and I was just standing there with my book and stuff, and my pencil was up. He jumps down right into my pencil.
No.
In the eye.
Oh, shit.
I'm not lying to you. I was so scared, bro. I was like, I'm going to get suspended. I'm going to get, really in trouble, and I didn't even do anything. Yeah. This is, the weirdest freak accident, and I don't think anybody believed me. Yeah, I don't think anybody believed. I was like, but why would I put my best friend in the classroom?
Yeah.
I literally, we literally, there was no beef, there was no art. Bro literally was on the platform 1 minute and jumped off, and like I went right into my pencil. I was like, oh my God. I was a little kid too, bro. I was like, this is not good. I'll never forget that, bro. I don't talk about that much, but it's like, it was really scary.
Yeah.
Like, because I really didn't, I thought something had happened to him because he immediately like left. My teacher like wanted to know what happened. Like, she kind of looked like kind of sketchy at first, but he told her like that was, and then like she like was cool about it, but like I know the kids in my class was like kind of sketchy on me, and I knew his mom probably felt some way about it, and I was just like, bro.
Like, nobody can believe you. Like, he jumped into my pencil. Nobody's gonna believe that shit. He's lying for you. Bro. You got something on him. You just shoved the pencil in his eye.
And that's exactly what it was. Damn. Like, I was in, like, whenever it happened, I knew. I was like, because I've been in trouble for stuff at that time as a kid. Like, I wasn't old enough, but you've been old enough now where, like, you got in trouble for dumb stuff where you know, like, something bad happened and this is not good. Yeah. And I was like, bro, nobody's going to believe this. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, nobody. Like, even as soon as it happened, I was like, they're not, like, I don't even know what the fuck to do. Like, I really don't know what to do. Like, because, and my teacher was like, what happened? I was like, the pencil, like, it just went in his eye. Like, well, how did it go in pencil? I was like, it just went in his eye, man. Okay.
It was some Doctor Strange shit. I let go. Went like,
because as soon as I say it, you like, nah, you got to go home for a couple days. Yeah. Like, you might have to go to another school. Like,
think about this.
Yeah. Like, I was like, bro, like, how about we just say, like, next time, put your pencil down, bro. You know what I mean?
Like, we got a special class for you people. Pencil stabbers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so when I was 13, I started playing guitar.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Yeah, I picked up an acoustic guitar as a classical, and my mom, she had a classical guitar and Simon & Garfunkel's Greatest Hits, and like the music of it. And I spent a year learning Bridge Over Troubled Water or something. It did not go well. It was not what I wanted to play, but I kept at it, and then I had a lesson, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing it wrong. So that's how I got into that.
Right on. So, were your lessons and stuff in Battle Creek as well, or was it here?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I moved here, Fort Wayne, probably about 10 years ago.
Really?
It's been a while now.
Wow. But
I lived all over the place. I did most of my growing up in Michigan, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo area. So I moved to Fort Wayne. I have an appreciation of this place. They had a music scene. Like, people weren't dicks. Cops weren't as bad. It was.
Yeah, so what was life like there, though? Like, in Kalamazoo and Battle Creek?
It was weird. Like, all the, GM wasn't doing too good, and all the Battle Creek is cereal and auto factories, and they were exporting all the jobs. Some were going to Mexico. A lot were going to Elmhurst, Illinois. I'm not sure if that's like a trade secret or something, but they were getting the hell out of Michigan. The governor had just, like... Governor John Ingle. I still remember that shit from like 1992. He packed his family in a station wagon and all the money in the coffers of the state of Michigan, and he took the fuck off. And he left everybody in the lurch.
Savage.
Yeah. You would drive down like good neighborhoods in Battle Creek, and there would be plywood signs out front that say like $7,000 for this house or best offer. Just take it. Just get me out from under this. It was nuts. I went to this one place. They were selling it for like $400. It was a mansion, but it had been occupied by squatters for so long.
Really?
It was just in disrepair, and the guy just wanted to get out from under it. So it got bad. It got real bad, and I was tired of seeing it go. So on the day they legalized medical marijuana in Michigan, I moved the fuck out. I was like, I'm out of here, guys. See ya. It was there's no correlation between that. It was like I was driving and I turned on the radio. I hadn't heard anything about it. They're like, Michigan passes bill whatever to legalize marijuana.
I bet you were shit.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I put up with all that bullshit in Michigan, and then the day I leave, they fucking legalize it and go on the path. But
yeah, that had to have been like 2011, I think, 12.
Something like that. Time's weird, man. I feel like I just moved sometimes, and other times I feel like I've been here my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I feel that for sure. I'm 20. How old are you? I'm 27.
37.
Okay, see, so like, I just like the last 10 years is just like, oh damn, I can't believe like like half of that stuff happened like
Yeah.
that you know what I mean, long ago, kind of like in a short way, but like
Yeah.
I can't believe like that happened. I just felt like that was so longer back than what it seemed like. If you were to look at a number, I was like, no, bro, that just happened like 5 years ago. Like,
Yep.
Really? Whoa,
that's
crazy.
Because you've been through so much since then. Like, it happens fast, but everything that happens feels like it happened way in the past. So
I wonder how people that are like 60 and 70 feel, you know? Like they must feel like, and especially if they can, and then especially if you can make it to like 90, you must feel like you've lived like so many lives.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Like, absolutely. Because, I don't know. Like, because I have the insight and I'm able to ask questions, and I'm not too couth or uncouth, one of the two, where I'll ask questions of people like that probably shouldn't be asked, and a lot of them.
Same here.
Right.
Same here, bro.
Right. Ted, he's in his 70s, and I'm always like, what was it like during this period? Or you were doing this while the world was doing this. What was going on? But that's it, man.
I think that's what that's one of the big reasons. Like, okay, so I get the whole like boomer thing, and I know like it's funny and it's a funny thing to say and do, but like at the same time, I think we still got to show some sort of respect and like reverence to those people like from back then. You know what I mean? Like,
it's tough.
Just because like they went through things that we never will probably have to go through. Like, I know like there's a lot of movements going on, but like the women marching now, their struggle is nothing like the women that actually marched back then for like all these like legit like rights that men had that they didn't have, you know, like you know what I mean, like the right to work and vote and all that sort of things. Like I feel like those struggles it's still a struggle that they have, but it's like it's not the same. And I think to just dismiss those people that went through those times and being like, oh, you guys don't understand. Like, I think they understand the most. I think they really just want you guys, our generation, like, to be honest, like anybody under the age of 30, pretty much to just stop bitching and complaining and understand what hard work is, being told no, like having things not go your way, and people just flat out being mean and saying whatever they want. Like the whole Trump thing, like I didn't vote for Trump. I don't really care for Trump. I don't care either way at this point about the presidency. But my thing is like, so you guys are literally up in arms about a moron that just talks a lot on Twitter. That's literally it. Yeah. You're just mad about a guy that talks a lot on Twitter. Yeah. Like he hasn't done anything. Like literally, he like no offense to Bush, but like there's more conspiracy about Bush starting or had a hand in 9/11 than Trump. What? Talking a lot on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like literally you like I'm be real. The millennials and the people that do all these movements are just as bad or worse as Trump. Like with their words of hate and the way they speak, and like not all of them, but like the psychos, you know what I mean? The super aggressive ones that say like they're speaking for a movement that this and that, and like it's just like calm down, bro. Calm down. Like why can't we all just have this sort of thing? Like I know you disagree, but like can't that be something that stayed off the gate? Like we gonna disagree here, so like let's not get caught up in the disagreement too much to where it goes back into, well, since we're disagreeing I can't talk out. Like no, just calm down, man. Jeez,
I think we're in a constant state of becoming something. I think it's generational too.
Yeah,
because if you look at it, like my perfect example is the Who. Because in 1969, they're like, my generation, I hope I die before I get old. They were the voice. There's change going on. It was 1968. The whole world was changing for everybody, and they all believe they could make a change. And now, the Who has sold out to CSI, where Teenage Wasteland or whatever it is the main theme. To CSI Miami, I think it is. And they're just like, you can watch Chevy commercials where they're using Who songs, and it was this great movement. And then everybody got really, really tired and kind of started like looking at their financial books and going, you know what? It was nice being loud and having this movement, but it's also nice making money. And I think what we're looking at here is a bunch of people who are so sure of themselves without giving them the chance to understand that they're becoming something. And that it's great to move towards something and build something and fix something, But saying everything is wrong, needs to change right now is a lot different than saying these are the things we need to change because it's hurting people. These are the things we need to change because it's objectifying and subjecting people. And we need to understand that we're going to bring all these people in with different opinions and different voices, and we're going to work towards something good, as opposed to going, well, I can't work with you because we both agree on making clean water for Flint, Michigan, but we don't agree on a woman's, place in the workplace or something like that. And nothing's going to get done if we start drawing these micro divisions. And there's sometimes we might be partners working toward a common good, and sometimes it might be an issue if we're on opposite sides. But we need to accept everybody's help in making shit good, because the stuff that's not politics is the stuff that's going to end us.
Yeah, man. It's the what's been killing me is like lately the other day is like I had just like a weird epiphany, and it's like not about me, nothing like that I can do. It's just like something I noticed, observing, just because I don't partake in any of the movements really, because it's like I've kind of had it. I've been disrespected and like in the workplace and personally, and whatever, in every facet of life, from black people, white people, men, women, kids, professional, like I've literally had women slam professional doors in my face. I've had women that I've worked with try to get me fired, that are managers, like I've had problems with men that have written me up and tried to get me fired, so that's why I don't get the whole, like, and maybe it's because I'm a man, maybe we could say that, but maybe it's just like I also have, like, I've had problems with people. I'm not white enough or black enough because I'm mixed, or some people see me as black that are white, that are in professional stand, or my tattoos, or just, like I've had like people that don't mean anything to me that I'll never meet, like, comment on my pops and say, like, why would you waste your time? Like, right. Out of everything in the world, my pops that you literally, you don't have to look at or comment on, right, bother you so much. Like, it's destroying and it's stuff like that. And it's just like, I've literally come to realization, it's a bunch of people, no matter how we slice it, everybody's complaining about some struggle, trying to say that theirs is worse than the other. And then the flip side to that is, I understand it though. I understand that, because how is it though? Like, it's just like, how did we get here? And it's like some of this is the system. Some of this is just poor family, situation. Some of this is money problems. I mean, it has a reason. Also, at the same time, what I found out at the end of the day, just because you can complain about it, because you have the right to, because it makes sense to complain, doesn't mean you should. Right. You know what I mean? Is it helping, complaining, fighting, arguing, versus understanding everybody feels a certain way? Like, we have all this stuff going on, but like at the end of the day, I feel like people are just coming to the table to complain, or to introduce a system that is just either benefiting them and their group, or that is already in effect and it doesn't work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is why don't we just make a whole new model and a whole new system in general? You know what I mean? And just squash all this nonsense. But nobody wants to really do that. Nobody wants a fair system. They want a system, no matter how you look at it, men, women, gays, straight, whatever group, they just want to be favored. Republican, Democrat, they just want to be their group to be favored the most, no matter what. At the end of the day, I need to have as much privileges and whatever that I can afford to have, Sure. And if mine isn't the same or more daily, every single day, day in and day out, no matter if the world is like, because my thing is, I think people discredit there just being bad people in the world, no matter what. Like, some people literally wake up like, I don't want other people to be happy. There's people like that. Yeah. People don't understand, like, there's just you have a bad day, just in general. So what do you think is going to happen when there's 1 million people having a bad day and 2 million people having a good day? Mm-hmm. There's still 1 million people having a bad day, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of noise, and it's just like, can we get to the real roots of the problems to dig them out, or are we just going to keep examining the same stuff we know about already? Like, I get it. I'm over it. Like, I want to see resolution, problem fixed, than the same stuff kind of being about. You know,
the same merry-go-round going over and over
again.
Yeah, I completely agree. That we need to work on solutions, and we need to get past an us and them mentality in order to work together. I have a weird perspective. I I belong to the conquerors, the fucking white people. I don't know if you guys knew.
Wait. Wait. Why'd you call them the conquerors?
That was what you the fucking Black Panther, right? That was
fucking dead. I'm sorry.
That was a perfect example of it because there's tons of conquerors. I was just listening to some shit.
I've never heard that, bro.
About
oh my god.
Yeah. About fucking Cortez taking over the Aztecs and the Incas and stuff. So the Spanish had what their conquerors, but.
Yeah. But I didn't know they referred at any point in time white people were referred to the the powerful conquerors. Yeah. Wow.
And I got from Europe.
I love it. It's just damn, that's brutally honest. That's why I laughed.
I in my life in many ways have benefited from generations of people being on the top, and wherever you get to at any point in my people's history, like my family. They can say whatever they want to say, but they have subjugated people in a certain way in order to be where they are. They have gotten the opportunities and the advantages where other people were denied it. And when you have a system where you only have a certain amount to give, and I guess I was getting off on a tangent, everybody thinks it's...
Tangent away, bro.
All right. The thought that in order for me to be happy, you have to be unhappy, I don't think exists. Yeah. I don't think people have to suffer for other people to benefit. I think we have enough natural resources and we can, as a society, grow to a place where we don't need to hoard everything and everybody can have food and clean water and all that stuff. But in a situation where it's been that mentality of we have to take it away from somebody in order for us to have it ourselves, from, the East India Trading Company just completely subjecting India to the opium wars in China, to everything my ancestors have done. And from that perspective, I have to go, okay, we need to be here. We need to be even before we can truly grow. Because as long as people have that mentality where I need to take it from you, instead of just saying we all have it.
I think I agree with that. I think because that's a lot. Yeah, that's I appreciate you saying that, for one. Two, it's tough, right? I feel like it's tough because even though I agree with all that, I feel like there's a balance that needs to happen. I think people that aren't the conquerors, as you quite frankly put them, lovely, I would say.
I gotta give credit to Black Panther. I think
that's fine. That's fine. We can give credit to whoever. I love how you put that. If it all just if they even things out by coming down, but also people raise themselves up in belief and made a community, and I think the trying has gone away because we want things to be handed as well.
Yeah,
and I don't want that because I say that because I was watching. Do you know who what's his first the Crowder guy? What's his first name? Something. He has a show. It's called Louder with Crowder. It's like a podcast. I can't remember what. I don't know that one. Give me a second. But yesterday I was watching on YouTube. He has the guy that has that table and he has that sign out and they made a meme. It's tell me I'm wrong or whatever. It's somebody make a meme Pokemon is the greatest show ever. Tell me or convince me I'm wrong or whatever. That guy. Yeah. He had a thing he was saying what is it? Affirmative action. Is affirmative action racism and or racist? And he was saying that he believes affirmative action is racist by its definition and by the way it's panned out and just what it is after all this time. It's a version in itself of racism. And I was going to ask you, do you think that?
That's a heavy question. Yeah, kinda. And I think it's a necessary evil, and because there are people out there, and where I'm in the workforce, I work for a small company, but I have 25 employees. I do have some influence in hiring and firing and how that goes. And
Steven Crowder. I'm sorry, that's
Steven Crowder.
Okay.
Cool.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, this is it. I was watching. He just posted affirmative action is racist, and it's like changed my mind.
Okay.
That guy. Yeah.
Right on. Like it. You have to, especially in small, majority white communities like Hicksville. I went through the census data. It is ridiculous. One lesbian, one very lonely lesbian in Hicksville. Like 2 gay men, 0.04% Hispanic, 1% black, just ridiculously white. So a lot of people, a lot of businesses, especially small businesses in that area, we work with Fort Wayne and Toledo, Ohio, and some of the bigger cities too. There are people there who are maybe consciously or unconsciously providing a bias to who they hire, whether it be men, women, black, white, gay, whatever. And of course, you see that bias where the Supreme Court of Alabama or whatever upholds the right for a company to refuse service to a gay married company because they're a Christian business and it's against their beliefs. So those biases, whether it's a bias you have because of how you were raised or a bias you have because you're just ignorant, they're all over the place. And we have to have some sort of system that puts into place, maybe not an affirmative action system, but a penalty for people who expose bias in the work, or who, not for the exposers, but for people who have bias in the workplace, provide some sort of, check and balance so that they're not hiring all their white buddies to come in and have a white buddy business. And on that side, I kind of get it. I would rather hire my friends, like I'd rather have Tracy working with me and my friend Jessica and Sawyer. You met Sawyer. They've all come up to me and said, "Hey, can I get a job?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how you feel about getting up at 6 a.m. and driving for an hour to get to work?" And they're like, "No, thank you." So I want to surround myself with my friends. That's my bias. And working against that almost seems like you're working against your best interest. But you have to give everybody a chance, and you have to realize, most importantly, that your belief of what makes a good employee is sometimes wrong, and that bringing in other people that you wouldn't expect to be a good employee could make your business better. Right now, I think we were traditionally like 90-95% men, to the point where we took out the women's bathroom and made it a second men's bathroom. But then we fired a guy, and then everybody quit with him and left us with nobody. And now we're 60-70% women. And
it's not bad though.
Well, it had
at all.
No, it actually turned out really well. They were really skilled people, and in that community, they weren't really given a chance to shine. They were mothers and wives, and they like making things, as what they tell me. I'm generalizing,
right?
But
it probably they tell you a lot more. But
they're like, fuck those people. I'm so sick of working here. But they're really good at it, so more power to them. But before, the things I would hear when I was saying, let's hire this woman or this woman, was, well, they probably can't lift 50 pounds, or they don't have the upper body strength. There are all these things that people generally say when it comes down to, we work a very masculine job with a lot of lifting, a lot of woodworking, a lot of saws that could scare them.
Scare them?
that was all right, man. That was seriously brought up.
Who said that? A
I'm
saw?
not going to name names. They're scary.
Unless it's coming at you, yeah. I mean, other than that,
there's some saws that scare me there. But
I mean, yeah, intimidating. But
I'm not justifying this person's statement at all. But that was some of the bullshit they were bringing up for their hiring practices,
right?
Mostly men. And once they got past that bias and saw that there were other things that women could do, and they can do the same things the men could do. Like, that seems so basic, but they had to learn that. The
only thing, so I learned this in school though. You have a right to be discriminative in those ways, which is fine. but you still have to give those people a chance, as you said.
Sure.
So my thing is like, I'm always skeptical of the 50-pound thing with men or women that are like 5'8" or something, and like really like small people in general.
Yeah.
Those like, would you be able to handle doing this day in and day out, like for hours on end type of deal? Like, I get you can do it. We probably all under duress could lift over 100 or 200 pounds.
Sure.
But could you do this whenever the adrenaline ain't going as much one day, or are you tired? Like, those are things you got to take into account so you don't have a crazy turnover, or like, it's a lot of things you got to think about as a business owner. So I get like having certain biases, but having those biases to where like you're still not going to allow people a fair chance, I think is the problem here. And I think that's the big problem with the United States in general. I think the buddy system that you're talking about and the capitalisticness of the United States are problems. I don't think that they are problems that need to be scrapped, though. I think we need to find a way to still be a capitalistic society, but we still need to make it a way that people have the bare minimum, because once people have the bare minimum, either you can say as a country, well, at least we've taken care of our citizens for the most part, and they have at least a home to live in. But if you want anything beyond like a house that like I have right now or something like that, you need to go out and get it. You know, like you have to put that, like if you want a mansion, I'm saying, if you want, not like if you got 5 kids and they force you to stay in a 1 bedroom, you know what I mean? Not nothing like that. But if like if you a single cat and you got a wife and you want more than a 1 or 2 bedroom house that the government gives everybody, and you want like a mansion and you want all that fancy stuff and all the dope stuff, you gotta go get it. And that's where the capitalistic part of it takes hold. You know what I mean? You should still be able to make as much money as you want. However, you know what I mean? That shouldn't be controlled, I don't think, you know, because
I'm gonna put a cap on multi-billionaires, man.
I mean,
you gotta put that money back in the system. That's
I mean, I don't disagree, but that's where the taxes come in. You know what I mean? Those people got to be taxed accordingly too. Like if just like we are, you know what I mean? We're taxed and our stuff comes out, and like we have to. That's how I think. But that's when the fairness comes. You know what I mean? It has to be fairness across the board, where we say like they got to come down, and I think we need to come up. You know what I mean? Like. We can't just say they got to give up, because I got to be real, bro. I may not have a lot, but I admire and watch people that have literally worked their ass off all their life. Like I see a lot of 40 to 50-year-old people that literally are just now making it, or just now becoming millionaires or even billionaires. And I'm proud of those people. I can't knock what they, if I could make $1 billion, I would. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want any joker to come take it just because they didn't think about it to come make the $1 billion. I didn't stop you. You just wasn't. It's a race. This is a race of money. Who can make the most, and you know what I mean, and all that in a certain amount of time. And as long as you do it in a legal way, and it's not hurting or killing anybody or demeaning anyone in all those sorts of ways, then it's all good. But I do agree, the taxes, putting the money back in, and doing right by it. But that's, you know what I mean, that's asking somebody to change their heart. You know what I mean? And I think if you forcibly do it with taxes, you don't even got to worry about the bitching and moaning. Like, I don't even care. Bitch and moan all you want. Fine. But it's still going to happen. You know?
Yeah.
So.
It gets complicated.
Yeah, it is. It's super. It's two schmucks talking like that aren't doing that every day. And I call it schmucks because we're not doing it every day.
Right.
So, but we're not dumbasses, but it's like it's easy to sit here and armchair quarterback this thing, but it's like it's hard to do. It's difficult.
Yeah, let me tell you what you should do,
Washington. Right. Yeah, listen here, Trump and all your subordinates.
Yeah, I've had some of the success in my past. With my decisions I've made. Let me tell you.
I got all the money in the world. You need to listen.
Yes. Where am I hiding it? I'm not going to tell.
Right.
No, I think it's when you get to that tax rate of 50% over like $500,000 a year. That's nuts to me that you'd have to give half of what you make to the government, especially the way they're spending it. But it's a negative penalty for not reinvesting your money into your business. You can take a $500,000 a year job and have like a 40% tax rate, which is okay. We're sitting at like 22. So, all right, you're fine. But take that money and reinvest it into your business. And there are so many business loopholes that you can just go through. Write-offs on taxes.
Easily.
You can get your money, but you're getting your money by continually investing that money into the community. man, invest in your employees. You can write that shit off if you have losses. That's nuts that we're not paying. Like at one point, as super business nerdy, but our overhead at the business was 6%. 94% was like our overhead, and a lot of that was covering for yield and waste and rework. But paying the people and the electric and the rent and all that stuff, 6% of what we're bringing in. I saw that. I'm like, you pay those people. You pay those people.
Y'all got guap, man.
I'm like, what are you doing?
What?
And it was one of those situations where it was 11 or 12 bucks an hour. It was matching the rate people were getting in entry and factory.
At least they didn't do them dirty.
Yeah, it was more than they were paying for.
It was just normal. But y'all should, as a company, you know what I mean, you will want to be more than normal.
Oh, yeah.
You should want to be the best so you can get the best workers and the best production.
I was like, we have the money to afford
especially when you got the resources.
Mm-hmm. Pay them $25, $26 an hour if they got that knowledge. And we started to.
And the experience, you know, I think that's the most thing I've learned in general is like, it's cool to have all that book knowledge and all this stuff that school is teaching us, but it's like I've been in so many jobs where that doesn't matter at the end of the day, because it's like as long as you have some sort of foundation, all that other extra stuff, like they'll teach a new way on the job. They have their own way of doing stuff. They have their own system. They have, like, you have to go relearn. Like, it's good to know the terms and the vocabulary and this and that and the third, but like, everything else, like the action of it is the most important thing, you know what I mean? Because it's like the foundation is always good and you need to build on the foundation, but they need more people like with experience that know how to get the job done versus can just eat up their money and do what another person can do. If a company it's like a guy, better yet, it's like a girl that's 100% woman, and she, you know what I mean, she don't got any kids. She got a car, a job that she's paid, you know what I mean, she paid, her car paid off, house is paid off, all types of deals, and she works for a job that pays her really well. Yeah. She's a great woman. She's not like, I mean, she has her faults as any person does, but really, really good human being. Going looking for a guy that's like 50% dude, you know what I mean? It's like, no, like even if you don't have everything I have, if like there's no strive or not, like you don't have anything to show for it, like there's a body of work. If your body of work is just poor, you know what I mean, or not even close to trying to get to 100, I'm not gonna go backwards. You know what I mean? Same thing a company. Like I'm 100% company. Like I know I toot my own horn, but I know I treat my employees well, and I make sure I handle my shit. So I want a specialist of some sort that actually is getting the job done versus somebody I could just pay anybody $12 to do that same job. You know,
we call them bodies, man. They're there to fill space. Mm-hmm. I want experts, and I'll train them. I'll train you whatever you want to know, man. But you gotta want to learn, and that's the one thing. If you don't have a desire to learn, you're gonna make a shitty employee no matter where you are.
You make a shitty anything, you know what I mean? Not just like if you gave people the keys to their own business, I'm not going to say all of them will fail, because some like, oh, this is like someone will have a real life awakening, like, oh shit, this is real. Like I can't just fuck. Like this is probably the only chance I'm gonna ever get to do something that's great without having to do so much work. You know what I mean? If you gave most people the keys to their own shit, I mean, most of them gonna screw it up. You know what I mean? But it's something, you know, 3 out of 10 that you'll surprise the heck out of you. You know, so it's what you say. It's that learning. It's that thirst, and it's just like it doesn't matter what some people are in. You know, it's just like I had points in this where I was just like I wanted to stop. I didn't have any direction. I didn't know what to do, and just a lot of questions and no answers. And it's just like, well, the problem is like you need to go search the answers, bro. It's like it's nothing different than what you did in any other job. If you want to know something and if you want it done, you need to go do it and you need to figure out how to do it. Nobody's gonna hold your hand. Nobody's gonna sit here and be like, "You sure? You okay?" Like, and this is why, right? And that's why it's like the Gen Z or whatever they call the kids now. Like, I just want that lesson to be known. Like, there was a lot. Like, my body has been beaten down physically because I was that guy that went over and beyond and all that, and like I wasn't using my brain at all. You know, so I was like, I let people take advantage of me.
Look how hard I can work. Look how much I can do.
You know what I mean? Yep. And it's just like it's got to be a balance. You know what I mean? You got to work hard. You got to know when to chill. You got to be smart about this stuff and not just be a brute force trying to constantly punch through a wall and make your point, and it's like, bro, just calm down. It's okay.
That's the thing too, man. Like, I that was a big revelation, is that you have to ask questions. Like, I'm in a job, I had no problem asking how you do this because they know. But when I'm out there, when I'm trying to sell artwork, when I was trying to start my own business, I was just trying to reinvent the wheel and do it on my own. Well, as soon as I learned that I could ask questions of people on the street, I could go into companies, I could walk in the front door of most companies in the area and be like, hey, can I talk to your owner? I have some questions on how to get things done, like run a business. Or there's programs and groups. There's Toledo City of Commerce, or Chamber of Commerce, there it is, has things. They'll get you interns. They'll help you, like, if you have a small business and you want to export your goods to China, they have entire programs to give you money and advice in order to get you to China and how to work there.
That's dope.
People want to help you, but they're not going to help you by coming into your bedroom, you up off your bed and saying, hey man, let me walk you through this. They're like, you do this part and you come to me and we'll do 10% more, you know? And that was a hard lesson to learn.
I think people want help and a hand like out instead of like a help up. You know what I mean? You know, it's just like, that's how I was telling you. It was like, I understand it all, like how unfair things are, but
they are
to the point to where people like are acting like we are back in the 30s or slavery or segregation or women don't have it. Like, to me, like the actions don't justify the means of like how people are acting. Like, I get it all. Like, I get it all. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, just be a little more understanding, you know, like get off your high horse and stop acting like you like literally like. My thing is, like, because somebody said something to you is not equate to somebody getting beat in slavery. You know what I'm saying? If I call you like the most vile, nasty thing that's probably hurt you to the core, it does not equate to you being like not having any rights as a person, or you being beat, or you not being treated like actually treated on all levels from everybody that you mostly come in contact. Like, you had one exchange with one person or a couple exchanges with some morons. That doesn't mean that all these people are like that. That doesn't mean like this is the way things are. That doesn't mean like this is the standard right now. Like, this is the culture. Like, I don't like that whole rape culture thing. Kind of got on my nerves because they only wanted to point the rape culture out when there was like women getting raped, which is fine. That should happen regardless. That there shouldn't be a culture about it. If somebody's raped, a woman, like that should. But it's just like and anytime a woman. Like, there was a thing where Cardi B, like, last year was, like, drugging men and doing this and that and whatever.
Pulling a Bill Cosby.
Yeah, and I think it was, like, my point is she drugged him. I don't even care anything after that. Like, let's just start there. You drug people, like, and it wasn't made to be that big of a deal. Like, how is that not a big deal? But the Bill Cosby thing is.
It's
Because it wasn't the sex thing that got him in trouble. It was the drugging.
Right.
That's, you know what I mean? It's just like that. And it's just like, we like to say that there's a double standard for everything, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to just be real. Like, men have a double standard. We can't cry. Women have a double standard. They can't be hoes. Why? I don't know. Like, I've always been under the impression, if you want to have sex, have sex.
Sure.
Don't call a woman a hoe, man. That's not cool. You know what I mean? Unless, like, you with her, like she does, like y'all in a relationship, and she does some hoish stuff. That's right. And the man doesn't, he does some hoish stuff, then you'll help. But like, don't, like, if people like to be promiscuous and do those sort of things, and that's the life they want to, you know what I mean? Let them do that. I'm never I don't care. Like, I don't care what other people are doing, bro. Like, I just don't. I don't understand, like, the whole infatuation, like, even caring. Like, these people wouldn't. My thing is, nobody would have to do these movements. There would not be all this outcry of injustice and everything if there was justice to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was just fair off the gate, people complain about unfairness would just look moronic.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, sometimes they do whenever you go overboard, whenever some people are making sense and they're talking calm and they have facts and resources and evidence. Like, that's not moronic, man. You know, like, you can't ignore those things, so.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and there's two parts I wanted to address there. One, I'm always scared about when you fight and you make an achievement, there's always going to be backlash. That's what we're looking at here. Trump is backlash. He's a reaction to the previous 8 years of Obama. It's a bunch of people going, oh, we're the victimized class now. Sorry about the Southern accent. Do not mean. There's a bunch of people going, we are the victimized class now. Oh, shit, that's like old white person. Okay, so there's a bunch of people in different groups who are being victimized because, or feel like they're being victimized because of the Obama presidency, which is nuts. But they really come back and they got in a fucking group and they decided that they are going to have Trump and he's going to fight for, and it is white power. I mean,
but see, that's the crazy thing about our stupid like voting system. Yeah. And I didn't want her either. Like, I'm just be real, she'd have been worse.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest, y'all. Like, we would have had it, and I told people we'll have a civil war with Trump, but we will have an all-out world war with Hillary. I'm sorry, but it's just like it's too much. I don't know. Trump talks too much. You guys, like, we'll know everything he doing.
Right.
We don't know a damn thing. She just killed Epstein. Like, let's just be real. She's still killing people. No.
Nice.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm cool. Like, it's nothing. I don't care. Like, your sexual orientation or your organ don't got nothing to do with how you can lead at this point. Yeah. But the fact that you got more skeletons in your closet than the graveyard, yeah, I'm cool, bro. You know what I mean? That's my only. And I didn't vote for either one. Trump was no fucking cheesecake pie either, and I didn't vote for either one. But my thing is just like, bro, this is retarded. Like, all this, none of this makes sense. I was like, why are we crying because Obama? And my thing is like the Electoral College. Like, she won the people voting, but he won the Electoral College. So what's the fucking point of voting? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just be real. I said this like a while ago, like the last one. Like, what's the point of this? What is the point?
There's not. How
are you gonna have two different voting systems? One that really means something, and one where it's the most, but it don't mean shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we'll have 500 Electoral College, but 3, 6, 8, 9, 10 million people that vote on this side, 100 on this side. Well, they win.
Yeah.
Did you not have brothers and sisters growing up? Do you not know what majority rule is, my guy?
No.
You know?
Dude, okay, you can't let the people pick the president.
Yeah.
They knew that when they made the Constitution. And, like, back then it was for the wrong reasons. They wanted only landowners. And then, of course, the 3/5 compromise where they considered the black people, the slaves, 3/5 of a human being in order to, because they weren't allowed to vote, right? So that was just to pack up the number of people in your districts so they could vote like the plantation owner voted. Nuts. But when you get into it, and we're here now, and we have this electoral college that's preventing the people's voice from getting heard, sometimes that needs to happen because there are a lot of idiots out there. And not just the people that don't think like us, but there are people out there who want to watch the world burn. There are people out there who want to see the worst possible thing happen. There are still people writing in fucking Howard Stern for president. There are people who don't take it seriously. And when you open it up, just the fact it's a popularity contest, we're not doing it by any qualifications. We're doing it by who.
Especially this last one.
Right.
Especially the last one. Oh,
we've
wow.
dropped the veil of thinking that there's any class to the presidency, that there's any expertise. If we wanted a president who'd do a good job, we'd hire somebody based on their credentials. We don't do that. I remember Bush he's the president I want to have a beer with. Or Clinton, same thing. We wanted a best friend president. We don't want anybody that makes us feel stupid, that would do a good job, that became a PhD and controls the economy or shit like that. We want the guy who makes us feel better about ourselves, and we want the guy who tells us the things we want to hear, and we want the guy who,
And that's what I'm saying. But that's the system that we just keep. It's like a cake, and it's like that's how it was back in the day. And like they lied to the citizens then, and they had and nobody's gonna want to hear this, and people probably gonna like hardcore like people with flags on their walls, you guys can be a fan of this channel or not, but I know there's super, super hardcore Americans that don't want to understand that every country in the world is shady and have shady roots, and our country is built on shady roots. And they lie to their citizens then, just like they are now. And it's just like, you keep layering that same cake. And it's just like, bro, you have a leaning tower of pizza and shit. And it's like, bro, it's going to fall. It's going to. You built it on nothing but BS.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is what you get. And it's just like, I can't, it's hard to like try to have these conversations with people and then let them know at the end of the day, like, it's all a game. Yeah. Like, because there's no system. There's nobody's taking it serious. Nothing. Like, bro, like, literally, these people are up doing all this stuff. Like, they're causing, they're trying to change media narratives left and right.
Yeah.
They're trying to cause wars. They're trying to change the game of money day and night. Like, this is that and that is, and then on top of it, all these outlandish accusations of all these things that they're doing, either to kids or women or men, and they won't say, like, the what is that? There's this place where all the like popular old like politicians and movie stars go. Bohemian Grove.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Got that place. Nice. You know what I mean? Like, all this nonsense going on. Yeah. And it's just like, us as citizens must realize, and I don't think nobody, because like, literally, it's been written, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, and I know people may like shun, like, but I'm a believer in God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a relationship with God, and I just, without having any opinion about anything or to talking, like, if I just sat there and watched the world for what it is, not to change it, not to tell anybody, but to just watch it clearly as a spectator alone. Mm-hmm. It's not good, bro. It's not good. And it's just like, it's not good because it's lies on top of lies. And then in the public eye, you want to say you have these Christian values and this and that, and you care about people, but behind the scenes, y'all are raping kids. You trying to start wars. You starting war on drugs. You got all these weird agendas. So it's just like, none of it's serious, man. Yeah. And the God I serve, man, he done made it clear to me, like, this is not a place for you, bro. Like, you can't pretend like Earth is just gonna be here 2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion years from now. I don't believe it will be, you know. And if it is, it's gonna be none but aliens. Yeah. And they have come here to wipe all of us out because we are moronics. You know what I mean? We're just idiots, you know, and it's just like, they're not going to have that same, like, it's not going to be how in the movies where they meet the nice human. They're going to meet like 20 shitty humans. Yeah. And they're like, okay, we gave like 20 of y'all a chance, bro. That's it. You know, white.
You know, we're the 6th mission to come down here. You killed the first 5 within the first 10 seconds of us being here. We're just going to wipe you out. We gave you 5 chances. No, it's completely true. George Carlin, and I'm going to paraphrase, he said, the Earth's going to be fine. We won't. Right. But the Earth will be fine. Right. They don't care. Exactly. So, like, it's true. It could be here 4 billion years from now.
Right. The Earth will.
Yeah. I'm not sure, like, I think it's a curve. I think we're going up, and we had a nice life right about here, and now we're going down.
Me too.
And like, sure, when Rome burned, people thought it was the end of the world. And when you see the things around you fall apart, it feels like the end of the world. But we're all tied together now. Mm-hmm. America goes down. All the economies go down. You might have Russia and China surviving, but everything else is so tied into it.
But yeah, and it's beyond like the money system we have in place. It's just like how shady the world is. Like, as like, even if money wasn't a thing, the world would still be shady. They would make a reason. Like, because my thing is, money isn't the be all end all. You know what I mean? Like, power is power. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes you need money to get power, or power to get money sometimes. But most time, the end game here for people that aren't trying to have power, they just want a lot of money. And the people that already have a lot of money, they want a lot of power. Yeah. And with a lot of power, as Spider-Man, Uncle Ben said, come a lot of responsibility. Yeah. So when you just out here throwing power around and you don't really give a damn, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be good for us. And it's just like, I don't really see it happening, like turning it upwards for humanity's sake.
Yeah. And that's the hard part, man. There's a lot of people out there who want certain things in the way for life to be equal, and everybody to be equal, and everybody to be kind to each other, and all those things. And it's only possible if we are intrinsically good. If we as a species can be that good. Otherwise, these shitty things are necessary. war is necessary. Building up your military with the defense budget we have is necessary. And that scares the hell out of me. Because I would rather think that's not necessary. We can go to a place where we can turn around and feed the homeless instead of dropping bombs on kids in Saudi Arabia. That's in Syria. Sorry, Saudi Arabia is our friend now.
No.
So like it's based on, I think, that one thing is that, are we as human beings good enough to be good to each other, or given our druthers, are we just really shitty race of virus parasitic people that, given a chance, will destroy each other? And if it's destroy each other, and it very well might be, I think, get it over with. Burn it down. Let the people who are left.
But see, when you say things like that, Tim, I'm gonna be real with you, because I say things like that's my mentality. Whenever when my feet hit the floor, when my head hit the pillow, you know what I mean. But with that mentality, I've learned to appreciate people more.
Absolutely.
I've learned to love more. I've learned to love like my girlfriend gets on me because like I don't go outside as much as she does, like literally outdoors to just sit there.
Yeah.
But like I told her, like one I used to, like I would just sit in my truck for hours and just sit there. Like sometimes I would smoke, but most of the time I just watch the trees and I watch the leaves blow on the branches, or I'll watch the birds fly and just hear things and just be around it. Even now, like even bad arguments or fights with people, like I appreciate those. Like it's just weird stuff that I appreciate now because like I know all this shit is over. Like it's the end. You know what I mean? To me, for me, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not pessimistic. You know what I mean? You could call it that, but like I'm just like really realistic with myself. You know what I mean? Like what's more likely, Tim? You know what I mean? Don't call me a pessimist. Let's just call it realistic. Yeah. What's more likely? Everything's going to be roses and daisies in 50 to 100 to 1,000 years? Or we going to be gone like humans?
Yeah.
You know? So it's just like, I'm just being honest. Like, you guys set the stage. Y'all set the table. Yeah. Don't get mad at me because I'm coming to dinner understanding what we're having.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm just sitting there chewing it and eating it. And I'm going to digest. Don't be mad. I'm just happy, more comfortable with it. You know? Like, I'm not going to fight this tide. Like, I see the big, you know, water tide coming. Like, there's no sense of trying to punch through it. Right. My hand's just gonna go through the other side. I'm gonna get swept up in it anyway. So that's why I don't get the people that get caught up in this game and they let the not understanding of others or the hate of others or just the anything of others kind of change who they are or what they want out of life.
Way to bring it back around to the beginning, man. That was a complete circle. Nice.
Yeah. So, but before we go though, we didn't really get to touch on anything music. How many years have we had us? I know, like, what's this been, like 5, maybe 6?
Yeah.
Or for Plumdingo?
Oh, fucking 8, maybe.
8?
Yeah. It started whenever me and Dust started dating. 6? I don't know.
Okay.
That's when it started.
Okay.
So I don't know that either.
I can't like fully remember. So like, did you guys just like look at each other one day and like we should start a band? Like, cause like we're really good and like it's not trying out, like working out with other things, and we could like really get this going.
It's a dirty, complicated history. I'm the bad guy in every sort of it, but I'll try to keep it down.
You're not the bad guy,
so,
Tim.
I was dating a friend.
Oh, Tim, you're the bad guy.
I know. And she's a fine girl. I met her and Dusty at the same time, so I started dating her, and then me and Dusty became friends.
Gotcha.
She was the bass player in Dusty's band at the time, so I jumped in as a guitar player when her guitar player moved out of state. So we were doing Silver Ticket, and it was all Dusty originals. It was pretty fun. And then on the side, me and Christy, the girl I was dating, got a hold of a guy named Mike Fiedler. Met him yet? Tall, skinny.
I think so.
He's a drummer.
I think I have.
Yeah. But he, I hope he doesn't listen to this.
You're good. I
support his growth as a human, and come back to me in 3 or 4 years when you've solidified. But so we were doing the 3 things. It's called Fall Dogs. It's a 3-piece guitar bass. I was singing and Christy was singing, and he was playing drums. And we got one show off of that, and then everything just fell apart. Me and her broke up, and
dang.
You know Sarah, Dusty's sister. Mm-hmm. Sarah and her fiance boyfriend were there, carrying my shit out to the curb with Chris. Like all my friends were there carrying my shit out to the curb in the rain. The cops were there to make sure everything was going right. I had a van making trips. Dusty was there because she let me put an amp and an accordion in her garage. Well, her boyfriend at the time didn't let me see her, like let her see me. He's real possessive. He's a nice guy, but he's possessive. So like at that point, I was just like, all right, I see that the tide is turned against me. I'm going to excuse myself gracefully after breaking up with her friends. So everybody hated me for a long time. And I went off and got married to somebody I didn't know. And then we got a divorce, and then I hooked up with Dusty. And that's when Plumdingo started. So by that point, we had already played in bands together. I was doing another band with a buddy of mine. And so at that point, it was just a two-piece. I forget what the name of it was. But Dusty jumped in. We brought in another drummer, and then Travis, the bass player at that time. So just all fell together. Had all the elements.
That's not, bro. I bet you going like actually living that was insane.
It was nuts.
Like that sounded like a lot.
I'll get drunk sometimes and then be like, "Hey, Sarah, remember when you kicked me out of my house? Remember when you carried all my stuff out? I just want to remind you did that." We're friends now. Like we're much better friends than we were. But just once in a while, I don't remind her when we started. So, yeah. So out of that grew Plumdingo, and people gave us gigs when we were real shitty, and then we started getting better and better, and now I don't feel embarrassed to play live as much. So,
I mean, me and Tracy talk about all the time. Bro, there's like maybe 3-4 songs that you play like that, like aren't you guys' originals? That I was like, I'll go and listen to. I'm like, I imagine Tim singing this right now. Matter of fact, I wish Tim was singing this right now. I've been trying. I've been hoping that you guys host more like lately. I know like the schedule's been crazy for everybody.
Yeah.
But I was like, that night. Oh, so before we go,
I don't know.
I've been holding on to trying to talk about this.
I've tried to explain it to people. I can't. I don't know what happened. I just have vivid images of a holy, like I wasn't wasted or anything. I experienced everything and I remember everything. It's just it has evolved into images that I can't interpret,
bro.
But that's where I'm at with that night.
So to fill you guys in, this was what 3 weekends ago, maybe?
Something like that.
I think it was like 3 weekends ago. It was on a Friday. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was Friday. Yeah. You guys were hosting, and night at the A&O was something to behold. It was. We had so many different elements going on.
There was a lot going on.
A lot, like not even like. So them playing. So they were set to host, and they'll take a break and do an open mic for people like that want to just come up and play something, or just until they come back. Because they are hosting, so they have to play like. Pretty sure it's 2 sets, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
or
usually,
3.
If there's people there, we'll let them play all night. And
right.
Like we'll get everybody up. So if we have to give up our last set, that's fine. We'll give out to another band who already played. But our biggest thing is being there in case somebody needs a third or fourth. Just being there to fill out the band.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's generally what happens.
Yeah.
2 or 3 people will come in and just put something.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Yeah, two or three guys are like, yeah, we can do it, but we can't. Nobody knows how to play that or do that or sing this. So it's like, okay. Yeah. So yeah, but that's what you're doing, and that's normally how it goes, and that's a normal night. Nothing. It may sound, a lot, but it's not. It happens. It happens seamlessly most of the time. Like you just find out who's playing, who can play what, and what's going on, and if everybody's straight or not, or what's needed to be filled. And it happens like it's a conversation that happens like within 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, a bunch of winks and
even with drinking involved and loudness and just laughing and all types of stuff. It's still like it still happens. So well, this particular night, we had people in the audience doing a lot. We had people just coming all up on like where they were playing. Like somebody was on the keyboard 1 minute. People were taking turns in the middle of songs on the mic.
Yeah.
One dude was on the drums, just like literally a half beat behind.
Yeah.
Like actually the actual song going on. Me and Tracy were just sitting there like, he's like literally like he's playing like straight through, but he's like a whole like beat or two behind, just like, and he's going strong. Like he does not see anything wrong. Like he's like not even like, you know how like you stutter or something to try to get back or something. Like he was just through. Like you could not tell this man nothing was wrong with that set. He got up like, bro, I'm Beethoven. So like I'm down there Travis Barker reincarnated in black version. You know, like he was going. I was like,
he got up for applause and
bro. Then he hopped on the keys. Yeah. Then we had another guy come in. He was having a whole rap concert while they were playing a whole different other genre of music.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's what you do, man. The stage is a weird thing. Like there's no stage there. It's floor, and you play on one side of the floor, and there's some imaginary line, and the other side of the floor is people dancing or people drinking or eating whatever. Right. And that imaginary line, once you cross that, people go nuts. It is a drug that if you don't have experience with, you will lose your shit. And there were times when I was getting into it, getting up on stage for the first time, of course, you feel like a fucking rock. People are paying attention to you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people dance. Sometimes they woo. Like, there's nothing in life of 37 years that has compelled me to woo. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't work. I'll clap. I appreciate things, but I don't. So, like, at one point, they'll take their shirts off and they'll flash you their bits.
See a lot of man chest, huh? Yeah, a lot of hairy man chest.
The last chest I saw belonged to a 68-year-old woman who got very excited while giving her boyfriend a lap dance, who was probably in his 70s. It was geriatric, and it was wonderful.
Bro, speaking of that, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, but speaking of that same night, okay, I go up to the bar, and I go where we always stand. Me, you, Tracy, Dusty, we're all of us, like, the people that normally go up there, like, more, I mean, you guys have been there, like, maybe, probably, obviously, more than me, but.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, but I've been there a lot, like, since, like, 2012, I think, like, because I used to go there with buddies I work with at Pizza King back in, like, 2011 and stuff, so I've been going there for a while, but I was standing there where we always stand, and I was just getting my rum and coke because I had it with the night, bro. Like, it was so much going on. I was like, now I need a drink. Yeah. Like, this is like 1 or 2, and everybody's about to go over to some bar anyways. I went to get a drink. Some old lady is literally standing there trying to get my attention, and I'm polite. So I'm like, okay. Got you.
Yeah, you don't want to be mean.
Right, yeah, I don't want to be, especially in there. Like, everybody's cool. I don't want to be, but I could tell from the moment she was handsy.
Yeah.
She was, like, she was trying to grab my hand, and she grabbed my arm a little bit, and she was talking to me, and then because I was a little too nice, she tried to lean in for a good old kiss, Timothy.
That's quick. That's a lot. She is bold.
And I literally...
Yeah, what was the move?
Turn.
Nice, a turn.
Listen, I stood there because blanked on her name because old dude messed up her name. What's the bartender name? Because
Pickles.
Because I was thinking dude kept saying her name wrong. He kept calling her Pickle, and that's why I kept getting stuff. I was like, bro, add an S. So every time I think of her name,
I was at the end of the bar for that.
Yeah, bro. This is literally like when there's this old lady kiss. This is literally like 10, 15 minutes before that. So she went and did that, and right where, so you know where like the wall is, where all the alcohol and stuff is, and like that gap where you can go where Pickles is and stuff, and then the bar. And then behind you is the doorway to go out, you know what I mean, to the smoke area. She was right here. I'm like looking at Pickles right here. I turned just like this and didn't say anything. I literally waited like 10, 15 seconds. I turned back and I think she was gone, or she just stopped. I was like, no, I am ageist right now. Yeah. And I'm proud to say, like, I'm not drunk enough to go that route.
Right.
2, you are too drunk to go this route. Yeah. 3rd, I don't know what the hell is going on tonight, but everybody is, like, doing some wild stuff.
Yeah, everybody was super hyped up, man. Yeah. Like, somebody, like, put ecstasy in the drinks because they were... I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying a lot of people. No.
Okay. I was like, is that what happened?
As far as I know, because I drank drinks as well, there were people who were not horned up who were just normal people, you, I, Dusty, whatever, normal people. But then all the people we've never seen before, who were like rubbing up on stage and fucking grabbing hands.
Because I was wondering, I was like, there's a lot of people in here I've never seen before.
Yeah. And like a lot. Yeah, getting really excited about shitty music. That's what got me. I'm like, this sounds like shit. And then I look out and everybody's enjoying it. I'm like, no, these people are on something.
Had to be.
That's my assumption.
And it wasn't two guys. So let's get that straight. It's not Plumdingo.
Yeah.
It was the fact that we had a guy, a younger kind of white dude, like maybe in his 20s, maybe his early 30s, literally yelling lyrics. And at first, if you were super drunk, you would thought it sounded good. Yeah. Then you realize, oh, he's just yelling words.
Yes.
Then you had another guy that came on stage wanted to start his own rap song.
Yes.
Then you had another guy that wanted to play the keys and was on the drums. Yeah. Then Tracy's drum set was literally just falling apart at every fucking whim. Like, Dusty sat on it. I was trying to hold that one song. Like, it was a lot going on music-wise. Yeah. And then you go out to the crowd and then you got all this other nonsense. Yeah. So it was like
that scene from The Matrix, the second one, where they're all partying.
At that rave kind of thing.
That's exactly what happened. We all got out of the Matrix at the same time. We were all super excited about it. Some of us were leery. Others they just went batshit crazy.
Yeah, everybody clocked out of the work life and the home life for the day, and then came to the A&O like, out of the Matrix. Nobody really knows anything to, you know, I mean, nobody knows me or anything, so I get to act like a fucking wild person.
Yeah.
It was fun. Nobody got hurt. It was a great time.
As far as we know.
Yeah, right.
Nobody we care about got hurt.
And it was just weird. That was just weird.
Yeah. I had a disclaimer the A&O that night. Like, it's not always like this. If anything weird happens, understand that there's people you can go to.
Right.
Like, we're looking out for everybody. Because as the host of it, and I guess there's some certain responsibility since it's the A&O. And we've been free of the Aryan Nation for at least 12 months now. Forcefully. It was a weird time. But, I just want people to know it's not usually like that. There's a bunch of really loving, kind people there, and we want to make it a good place.
So you gotta get the hell off my podcast.
I know. Bro. How long's it been?
You just said the Conquerors. You just said the Aryan Nation. Like, you do realize you are still white too.
Yeah.
When you leave this podcast, you are a white man.
Right.
I don't want them to come after you.
I
don't. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem, especially with the Aryan Nation, is that 9 times out of 10 they'll introduce themselves and then give you the wink, like, "Hey, didn't I see you at a meeting last week or some shit?" And I'm like, "No, I've never been part. I don't want to be part of your boys club." But like,
he said the boy.
You don't. You want to make sure that no matter what, you separate yourself from these extremist groups. And I want to just make the statement: it's not okay to be part of the Aryan Nation.
I officially made my YouTube not for kids. So go ahead, bro. Get it all.
All right, cool.
Get it all out.
So, like, I'm not part of that. I don't want to be part of it. Stop offering me invitations. Stop pretending like I'm part of it. I've never seen you there. You'll never see me there. And
not even to serve drinks, bro.
Yeah, no.
You're to drop off a wheelchair Aryan Nation vet, bro. Like, nothing.
No, he can sit outside on the sidewalk.
I'm sorry.
I'll bring him a water, but he can't drink it. He can just look at it.
I never met a white man Well, I met one white man. That's my cousin. But I've never met, like, a white man that wasn't related to me ever go in on the white culture like this. Like, the toxic white culture. Let's be more specific.
Yeah. You got to be super critical. And to leave it, my buddy, he was first generation Chinese. His dad was awesome. He swam like the fucking Japanese sea for freedom because he was, from China at the time. And he came to America and he had very traditional values. And he said to, his kid, and I was there, they went to a shop in Chicago and they were reading the comic books because the guy had comic books. And it was a Chinese man who owned the shop. And he came in and started yelling at my buddy Roger. And Roger turned to him and said, "You represent us. You represent all of us. When you act like that toward people, it makes us all look bad." So I'm saying the same thing. I'm like, when people, like, you represent me, you represent all of us. Stop making us look bad. That's all I'm saying. So
Hey, couldn't put in no words. Okay, so I'm officially let you go after I ask you 2 questions.
Oh shit.
What is it's easy ones,
All
ones.
right.
Three questions. All right. What is your favorite song that you guys perform? You can give me either original or it's just, something you guys.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one that you guys play?
There's an original we do that I sing that I wrote. That's called something. City of Strangers. That's it.
I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
But it was cool because I brought it to them and I was like, here's this song I wrote. What do you think? And they're like, it sounds just like that other song you wrote. And I went, oh shit. And I like turned around and like, here's the song I wrote, and I played it for them. And I changed the whole thing, made it waltz, like double timed it, and it came out perfect. And they're like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, that was the same song, I just changed it up. They're like, well, good. But it's that influence to be able to say, throw my stuff out and be like, what do you think? And I'm like, that's just the same song. And I'm like, oh shit, you're right. And then change it up enough so it's completely different. It became
that's dope, bro.
I like that one.
You should try. I mean, you should probably try to do that with all your songs. You know what I mean? Make it one way and it might sound good, but do the you know what I mean? Turn the tables on them. You know?
Absolutely.
And do it the same. You know what I mean? Do it the same. That probably you could probably make your own sort of genre, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that would be your style. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not say anything else about that. I don't want nobody steal it. You know what I mean? In a year, you're going to be hearing some dude. Look at this guy. He makes a song and another song. They are the exact same, but they sound so different.
It's a song trapped inside a song, played with melodica. It's a keyboard wind instrument. It's horrid. But I have one, and I play it often when I get drunk. Sounds like an accordion. It's fantastic. All right.
Okay.
What was your next question?
My second one. What is your favorite gaming system of all time?
Shit, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo was my developmental one. And I only say that, it's retroactive because it was always Nintendo. Nintendo started me on that shit. But as an adult going back and playing Nintendo, they released so much shit for that, so much garbage, that you only come up with like 5 or 6 decent games. So, Super Nintendo, the music was better, the graphics were pretty good, the controls got, responsive. And I played... that was the most time I spent sitting on like my buddy's like ottoman, like watching him fucking play. And Final Fantasy. Oh, that was PlayStation. Never mind.
They had Final Fantasy on Super Nintendo, but it was like 1 and 2,
2 and 3.
Yeah,
which was 4 and 6 or some weird shit. But yeah, it was 3 because I had 2, he had 3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right on, bro. Okay. My last question is favorite hero, superhero, DC. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm so DC. I'm not anti-Marvel. I love Marvel, but
DC is just where it's at.
Just put the blinders on, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
I only got so much money, and Superman needs it because they can't pull together a decent cinematic universe.
Superman.
I like Superman, but my favorite right now is Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing, absolutely. And
that's not what normal people say. I like that. I like Swamp Thing though. He's very different, like in a good way. Like he has his own set. Like it's like Spider-Man. Like it's like he's well known, but if you go like a fine comb through like his move set and how he does it, like he has his own way about doing stuff. You know? So I like that.
The Alan Moore run from like 1984 issue 20 up through like 60, I think it is. Those are rough. He did weird shit, man. He revolutionized comic books. He basically brought about the Vertigo imprint for adult comic books with Swamp Thing. And the dude, I mean, like, he had John Constantine impregnate Swamp Thing's girlfriend with Swamp Thing taking over his body so that they could have
That's crazy.
At one point, like, he went back in the past because, like, he was just being sucked further and further back in the past. And he like met up with Jonah Hex and ended up seeing the birth of civilization and all sorts of
Jonah
stuff.
Hex is that dude, man.
Yeah, with the
yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Like to think Constantine got taken over.
It's
that's crazy.
He was like, Constantine, I want you to let me take you over so I can, make love to my girlfriend Abby Arcane, and so she can get pregnant with the spirit of
Got it. Because he could make love to her as a Swamp Thing.
Exactly.
He needed
he had a vegetable dick. Yes.
And we'll leave it on that. I appreciate you.
I can't say anything more than that.
Yeah, no, man. That's what you got to leave it on. Yeah. That's it. I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
As always, man.
Thanks.
I can't wait to see you guys play again.
Soon.
I'm gonna put links in for Plumdingo. I'm going to make sure I get you on again. You're gonna have to bring over some of the systems.
Yeah.
We'll do an actual like gaming podcast or some sort, like strictly games and stuff. So
cool.
We'll have you back on, man. For sure.
Right on.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys. Do like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys coming through, checking out. Tim's that guy, man. For real. That's the guy.
Yeah, say hi to me in public or something.
Take it easy.